I guess like grocery stores and stuff, they're probably going to need a generator, so they're probably not going to get the regular power stuff too.
Walmart is open, yeah.
They don't have staff, enough staff. Yeah.
So in Tallahassee, they have this district to see who they can put for that.
We've had 13 months, 3 storms buried within what, probably 30 miles of each other in terms of the tracks.
That'd be good and all that.
In Tallahassee, there was almost no damage. I mean, like, at least in the city, maybe in the maybe the eastern part of Leon had, but like, it was going to hit Tallahassee, and then it kind of shifted a little east.
It hit hard on the front side. I mean, hard.
Yeah.
Shifted a little bit, and then the tail ended up with hardly anything compared to the front one. It was hard on the front side.
Totally got
Hey, look at cleaning out the canals. If we get to clean out the canals, want crabbers or shrimpers or fishermen.
You've done that before, right?
Yes, yes. We need to get on that as soon as possible. See, we've just lost 2 major points here. Take deal in the sawmill.
No, I know. Well, they did the paper mill right before Idalia, or right after Idalia, somewhere right in that same time. I remember that. That was really unfortunate.
But if we get that and get the crabbers and the shrimpers and fishermen back making money, anything will have a difference.
All right, well, I'll tell him to help. Do you know, do we have any local contracts for water removal in place for county or city?
I don't know, we got a good place, but we have some here that we can contract with.
So the people whose homes, do they want to come back and rebuild here, or do they need a place to stay here, or are they going to try to go elsewhere?
I think some of them are going to try to stay.
that time to slow down.
Kevin's got a trailer, so we'll work on these trailers.
The problem too is when Idalia hit, they canceled all the so now we're like, it's like, and then they said, oh, you can have a loan. It's like, really? You only pay for the first loan because you got this loan. You know, it's terrible.
Just in the bad part of the body should be consider temporary residents, so their main residence is in Georgia, so they now have to go to Hawaii.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, you know, their main residence is just over the Georgia line or
Right.
there, and then this is their weekend or their summer days.
But this is
So they've lost
our house. This is our home. And he's a charter captain out there, so not only one business, two businesses, because we have no doctor.
We don't make it in the building.
Nothing. Charter. Yeah.
Joe West promoted.
I know. I mean, we're all that same water. You know, same wall of water, same wall of water.
And it's like, it's gone. It's not like it's pushed up.
Right.
It's gone. It's actually
The concrete platform wall.
Right. And that's when I was videoing, I was like, this was Cabin 7. And that's the house we lived in. That was Cabin 7. This was and everyone keeps saying, well, where's this and where's this and where's this? And I'm like, we don't know. We can't find it. It's gone. Now maybe when the water recedes, maybe we might be able to see something besides a couple of things. But we had a thousand pound ice. We don't even know where it is.
So what I'll do, we're talking with my staff here. We're going to get with you. We're going to get your information. We're going to take care of that and start working. So this is my guy, Grant, right here. Get some information from him.
Were you guys, I guess, just on the northeast part of the storm then? The worst part of the storm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I came in.
Happened to be
It was enough to cover us.
Yeah, I don't even know that Idalia was, what, close to 20 feet.
No,
Oh,
we
no.
had Idalia, we had 4.5 foot.
Yeah.
We measured it out, we had 4.5 foot. This time we had
It was this water. We had somebody, I had somebody ask me, well, was it wind or water? I said, if it was wind, no, it was water.
It was all water.
It's just crazy. I never knew water.
You don't want to have to deal with either, but you'd rather deal with wind than with big storm surge. It's just, even if it blows your roof off, you can do it. But when you have the surge of that magnitude, it's just, Okay, well, we'll make sure you get Kevin your stuff. I'm going to come right back. Yeah, we're just going to go take a walk and just check out some stuff, but we'll come right back. We'll be back in a minute. Where's your... Who's got the camera?
Let me give Kevin.
There we go.
I thought you were going to get the picture.
I want to get in here. And
Yeah. He said he actually wants me to work for us.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
all right, so we're going to take a walk down here.
You guys are just talking about Grant, right?
You were out there today.
I haven't got a Grant through this meeting.
So do you have a sense, Wakulla, they didn't get it that bad because they were on the weak side of the storm?
Yes, sir.
Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir, that's what I understand.
And Franklin too, I'd imagine, right?
Right, same deal. This is about the worst it got right here uptown for property damage.
Governor, this is David.
Okay, You guys are already set up? Okay. Hey, how are you doing? You guys are focusing on food right now and water, or what?
Doing both. We're partners with Salvation Army. They're setting up
I saw them. They had a big, looked like an ice cream truck or something with must be food in there or something.
Yeah, we'll start feeding tomorrow. we partnered with them, and then we're also doing our cleanup and shutdown for that.
Yeah, we've got, I know I've got Chick-fil-A coming, definitely Cedar Key, I think probably somewhere in Taylor County too. We got McDonald's is going to come, Publix, and then Operation Barbecue. So we've got going to be a lot of hot meals here for folks. This is our third trip right here.
We're really getting your steps in for today.
Oh, more than that.
I did not. I mean, I knew it was going to be a big storm, but they were like, it may hit 20 feet. I'm like, well, maybe it hit like 12 or 15, right? It's like, I don't think we had 20 before. So what would you say of the homeowners on these beaches here in this county? What percentage are like full-time versus part-time residents?
Probably 50-50. 50-50. What I say, yeah. Got a lot of people in Georgia live down there.
Yeah.
You know, weekend homes, nice homes.
Yeah.
You know, we got a lot of people, that live there year-round.
Which way are we going?
Right up here past this building.
Oh, yeah.
Wish we'd do a circle like Live Oak.
Farther away from my car.
That was ridiculous. I saw it, and I saw it start. I'm like, this is bullshit. And then I kept watching it, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding. I was like, I can't honestly believe they think that would work. Oh, my kids, every time these YouTube ads come on, they turn them off. They're like, I don't want to hear from this guy anymore. Give him a lot of that. Give him a lot of that. So what's all these?
These are truck trucks.
Feeding kitchens.
Okay.
We can expand that.
Probably gonna need everything we can
And you're going to start meals tomorrow or tonight or what?
Start meals tomorrow.
Gotta do what we gotta do.
Glad for your support.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing, man? See you. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Were you in the airplane or the helicopter a while ago?
Door to boot will be delivering this whole parking lot with product and installation on the drive through.
Okay.
They can put it on their delivery vehicle.
And where are you based out of?
I live in Graceville, but I'm statewide responsibility for that.
Okay, good. All right. Well, what do we do the gaggle here? Or?
We can do it here right there. If you want to go around here downtown.
Why? I don't care. I mean, I'll do wherever. Except if everyone's here now. I just do it. You guys ready?
Yes, everybody? Give it,
I might have
He's got extra money.
Yeah. See the Google stands way up there.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm not thinking of making it.
It's important, man. It's important.
That's fine. That's my mind. We're not streaming it. Yeah, we just captured it. I don't mind. Somebody gets too tight.
You guys able to just hold mics?
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, he's
Okay, you're good. You got sound?
We're ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys, Sheriff, you want to head over
Yes,
here?
sir.
Okay.
Where you want me, right here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Well, it's deja vu all over again. We've been in Taylor County over the last 13 months for a number of different times related to storms, and here we are again. Now, we're in Perry. We've been in the downtown, and there is damage, but that damage is not dissimilar to what Idalia brought, so it's something that you deal with, and they will deal with it. We are going to go over to Cedar Key, over in Levy County, and then we are going to go probably tomorrow to some of the beaches here in Taylor County. But the damage from this storm Helene compared to Idalia is not even comparable. It did more damage on the coast than Idalia and Debbie combined. And when you're talking about storm surge of this magnitude, I mean, we think we talked to some folks that think it went 20 feet where the stuff's just getting washed out. That's really, really devastating. So there's going to be a lot of work to do in these areas over the next days, weeks, months, and unfortunately, sometimes these things take years. I was just down in the Tampa Bay area, the Pinellas County beaches. You know, they had some significant surge, not 20 feet like they had here in Taylor County, but that's a heavily populated area, and you saw, I was going through the neighborhoods, you were able to see the water line on a lot of the homes. A lot of those homes in the one neighborhood I happen to look in had a water line, going to need some muck and gut. Kevin and I are working on maybe assisting with that. Other parts of those beaches were even more extensive damage, and this storm was 100, it didn't even get within 100 miles of Tampa Bay. And yet you were able to see surge, I think 7 feet in some areas, which is a lot of surge, especially how low-lying that is. We're going to go over to Cedar Key after this and look at some of the damage there. I remember walking there after Idalia. There's a lot of serious damage. What I'm expecting is something that is much worse, and every report I've gotten has said it's much worse. So I appreciate everyone that's been working so hard. I know, Sheriff, you guys were working to protecting your residents, and they have not had any fatalities reported in Taylor County, which is incredible when you consider you're having 15, 20 feet of storm surge, and they had no fatalities. And a lot of these places got wiped out because they really worked hard to get people out of their homes and get to safety, and a lot of people did do that. I know they had to do some rescues. I know we were involved in helping on some of that, and we're happy to do that. But that is a real success story for what they were able to do to preserve the safety and the lives of their residents. As bad as it is to see a house get washed out, and it is, it's emotional. It's not just about the dollars and cents, because there's memories, like what am I going to do? As bad as that is, as tough as that is, ultimately we can fix that. Somehow, some way we can fix it. You can't fix it if you get washed out in storm surge and lose your life. You can't unring that bell. So as devastating as it is, I am just grateful that we didn't have any loss of life as of now here in Taylor County, because this was really hazardous. Now, statewide, we are down to, I believe, about 800,000 without power. There have been about 1.5 million restorations since the storm began, and those restorations are continuing. Now, Taylor and the surrounding counties here are all basically out. And talked to Duke, I talked to some of the companies, they understand that this is important, but some of these things are going to potentially need to be totally rebuilt in some areas for the power transmission. That just takes longer than if you're just having to hook up lines for generation. So we are going to continue to assist in any way we can. Having these linemen staged before is a really smart thing to do. We were just down in St. Pete Beach. We had Melissa from Duke Energy. I mean, they had people staged at Tropicana Field there at the Dome. They had people staged at the Villages in Central Florida. Really, really positive. Of course, we were at Tico earlier in the week with what they were doing to stage. So that really makes a difference. I mean, there's certain people that have serious damage to their home, people that have lost their home. But then you've got the vast majority of people, even though the storm was serious, if we get the services, the roads, and everything back, it really helps, I think, with the stabilization and the recovery. So I want to thank everyone who's been involved with that.
Governor, how do you describe this storm? When you travel around the state, you've been through a few, but you've been governor, we seem to have gotten hit quite a few times. How do you describe this one compared to the others?
Well, I think in one sense, this was a large storm. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a storm that caused as much damage without really interacting with most parts of the state directly. I mean, this eye wall never touched the Florida Peninsula. It hit North Florida, but yet from really Fort Myers had storm surge. You go up Sarasota, places like Anna Maria Island, Manatee County, they said they haven't had this bad a surge ever that they can remember. And then, of course, coming up here and seeing just monumental surge where it actually made landfall, you kind of know there's been storms that have been, like Ian was a Category 5, it rammed into Southwest Florida, obviously and then it rode up the middle of the state and then out the East Coast. Well, you know that's going to do a lot of damage. But you kind of think if you're 100, 150 miles away from the eye of the storm, not that you're not going to feel effects, but I think most people would be like, 6 foot of storm surge when it's that? Yeah, we understand when it gets closer. So I think just how far the storm reached was there. Not the most powerful storm Florida's ever faced. I think it hit 140 miles an hour when it made landfall. But, you know, we had our Labor Day hurricane in the 30s with 185 miles per hour. But just how wide it was and how it brought a lot of surge up and down, probably 200 miles of coastline had some surge. And it's interesting because like Tampa Bay had Pasco County right north. Then as you got into like Citrus County, which actually had a lot of from Idalia, they actually didn't get it as bad as they got it from Idalia. So sometimes there's not really a method to these things. It's just kind of the way it happened. But I said this in the other statement that we made down in Pinellas County. We started mobilizing for this over the weekend. We did the state of emergency Monday. Kevin and his team have been working with the National Hurricane Center. You know, they got this forecast basically right on the nose. They were, before the storm was formed, they projected a major hurricane coming in to the Big Bend region of Florida. They've never predicted a major prior to a hurricane being formed, I think, in the modern history of the agency. And so they did that. And then on almost every model runs we were seeing, it was Cat 2, Cat 3, even yesterday. They always said it was going to be stronger than what those were doing. So sometimes the forecasts aren't as accurate, and when they're not, they get a lot of heat. But this one was dead on, and so they deserve credit for getting it right.
For Idalia, you were saying that hitting this area would be the best worst-case scenario because it's not very populated. Well, now we've had 3 of them. Are you still kind of thinking that this is still the best?
It's never a best-case scenario, no.
Best worst-case scenario.
It's just, you know, when we're state capitals in Tallahassee, people obviously get very apprehensive about a storm going in there. And the reality is the fact that this bent east meant less damage for Tallahassee. It's not that we're saying we prefer one or the other, but that's just the reality of the situation. I was driving to and from the EOC. You wouldn't have even known. I mean, there's maybe some damage. I'm not going to say there's no damage in Tallahassee at all, but I mean, I did not see any major damage. I think Corey probably agreed. I don't know what he's seen. And yet, you come just a county or two over, and it's like, man. So you don't want them to ever hit a period. I think the population that went in this route for Florida was less than if it went into some other parts. But this has also gone into Georgia. It's gone into the North Carolina. It's gone into Tennessee. They're having a hell of a time right now because at least we deal with this, and it's terrible, but we kind of know how to deal with it. Those places in the mountains of North Carolina, they're not used. They basically shut down western North Carolina. You can't even get in and use the roads at this point. It's, I think, tough when you haven't dealt with it before. So no, you don't want to have them ever come we were not rooting for it to move one way or another. I don't want to hit Florida at all. The problem is when it gets in the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to hit something. The Atlantic hurricanes, a lot of those will turn north and they'll ride up the coast, and they don't even directly impact, well, not every time, but a lot. And there's been a big history of that. These, it's going to ram into something. And so it rammed into here, and you have a community that's been hit a couple times, which is bad enough. I mean, even if it was a Cat 1, that's bad enough, but then to have one that's bigger than the other two, really, really difficult set of circumstances.
And a lot of these people are just now getting rebuilt from Hurricane Helene. Are you worried about what this will do with the property insurance, with these people having to make yet another claim a year later?
Well, I'm concerned at some of the people who may have had their insurance canceled in the last year. I mean, we had just talked to some folks. They basically, their insurer ran for cover after the Idalia. So there may be people that weren't able even to get insurance. So I think that's going to be a very messy situation. Yes, I am concerned about it. I mean, there's certain things we can do to help. We are going to petition to get the individual assistance from FEMA. I would imagine that's going to be granted given the severity of the storm. That is not going to be able to be a substitute for what a full insurance would do, but it can help people who are in need.
Have you talked to the president about him coming to survey the damage?
I have not. All right, we're going to go to Cedar Key. We're going to go meet with folks there, but of course we'll be back in this area, and Kevin knows he's already got some tasks to be able to help put some resources into effect for the people here in Taylor County. And look, this is kind of the really difficult times are when people have to dig deep and just be resilient. It's not easy. This has not been easy, but we're going to get through it. We will do that, and the folks in this part of the state, they're a resilient bunch. They're tough. They're going to put their best foot forward. So this is a long process. Yes, we would like to pray that we don't get any more storms. I think that would be very good for everybody. But we'll deal with whatever hand cards that were dealt, and we'll play that hand accordingly. Thanks.
Thanks, Governor.
Okay.
Not mine.
You guys are
Wow.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Is it like a baseball cap size or what? So a 7 and 3/8.
What size do you wear? You remember?
Yeah, 3/8. That's 5/8. Okay. All right, good deal. I like it, man. I like it a lot. Wow, I didn't realize there were Grady Judd hats. Look at this. Look at that. All right, Grady and I.
All right, together.
Hey, here, right here.
Right. Thank you.
All righty.
All right.
Take care of it.
No, I wish.